It is true, sometimes you're going to become sick of us because we represent something in your reality. Most times we represent the past, don't we? As the idea is a speaker reality last night. Those speakers again offered you something there. They're tuning into your reality. They're changing their frequency to have an interaction with you. They don't do this consciously. They do this exceptionally. There's no way to understand it until you are the natural of it. But what you do know about yourself is what is not natural about you yourselves anymore. About you. Let's look at that for a minute. Let's see that when you grow tired of something, why is it? Because maybe you see the same things over and over again. Maybe you're becoming dull, and your reality is starting to become frictional. Even speakers do that. Because we're at a vibrational match that is time-worthy. The now will move me. The now will become more and more now. And that now is translated in whatever way you do that, as I do. But if you don't hold on to the times, then the now becomes a different quality. You won't feel so tired about reality. Right now, Grise is afraid because there's nothing on the horizon. See, that's an expectancy. That's an algorithm to know what's going on. Did you all notice? After this weekend, then nothing. There was a kind of a laughter in there, wasn't there? Because he has a little bit of uncertainty and fears. See, this is honorable for him to allow himself to realize that. Not in honor of the idea of the class or imaged. To know that he's working within himself. The observation to see. To take no action to avoid his fears. And Roxy isn't into it. She knows that he'll be fine come Monday. The weekend is going to give him a connection. The connection is undefined, but it is certainly felt. And the word certainly is what you need to focus on, Grise. You will certainly have a connection on Monday that'll give you a feeling of confidence on where you're going. See, you still need those certainties in your life of time because you value them, because you haven't lived this way. Sonia quitting her job hasn't lived this way. No more money, running out of money, doesn't matter. What's that? What's uncertain about that? What's uncertain about Monday? After that. See, doing something over the weekend gives you no uncertainty. Why, Grisa? Because you have a plan. And see, that's the same as I am. I'm familiar. I'm certain with you. These are why we're having an interaction, because we're matching frequencies. So Monday comes after the weekend, and as your mind seeks that connection of stability in the future and none comes, you grow as you are now anxious. A little uncertain about worlds to be held. But you're certain now, and I guarantee you, Monday comes, you're going to be certain of one thing, that you are now as well. There's no difference between that now and this now. The reality is, this is your here and now. And now this is your here and now. And now this is your here and now. And if you keep looking at this here and now, you're going to feel the equal certainty of this experience. Now let's all stretch to time, shall we? The vibration of time is kind of sickening. It's like me. Sometimes you just might get tired of me. Sometimes I might be the same feeling, and you already know in your mind, here we go, same shit. But is it? We'll get to that. See, Grisa, as well as all of you, are exceptionally certain that you're having an experience. I am exceptionally knowing I am right now. There's no doubt in my mind that I am having an experience. None. There's no emptiness. There's no holes in my holodeck. There's never not a reflection. Existence is full. Therefore, I am always existing. Swimming in this mass isness. But if we all go to time, I bet you we can feel salty about it. A little bit upset and rigid about some of the pasts of times. And I bet we can feel a little bit airy and uncertain on the future. I bet we can do that. See, that's what the now gives you. The now provides you with a reflection, and wherever you place your focus is a reality. So why are you feeling uncertain about Monday? Because you're focusing through a filter of time, Grisa. If you were a child and never taught about tomorrow, there was no references of tomorrow. No one ever gave you a fathomable idea of we'll do that tomorrow. Would you ever have a vibrational experience of uncertainty or certainty about something that's not in the here and the now experientially? In other words, you must can only be theorizing about the future. And all theories are based on time and equal vibration. Somewhere in you, you have been uncertain. So since your focus about Monday, next week, after Grandma's stint is over, the weekend with her friends comes, you're certain about that. But see, when there's no plans, it grows empty, doesn't it? And since you look in time, that's the way you perceive Monday until it is reconciled. Maybe on Saturday, someone tells him, hey, I've got this. And then Monday becomes a Saturday. You see how that works? See, right now in Grisa's mind, right now is equal to the experience of the rest of the day, to the experience of this weekend. He's certain about that because he has plans. But what he's uncertain about is what he doesn't have as a fathomable hook to give him the reconciliation of empty time to be filled with the promise of a vibration, certainty. Oh, yes. See, what you're doing is the same about time. And it is it's so alluring, isn't it? It's got sweetness in it. It's got hope in it. It's got happiness in it. It got a lot of fear, got a lot of treachery, got a lot of bad memories that sit in time. But it does have something. It has certainty if you look sharp. Not uncertainties of the details playing out. No, 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 no. That would be a cause and effect mind of a reflection teaching that is dead. No, what I want to show you is the certainty that you're having about time. Grisa is uncertain in relationship to vibrational feelings, right? About Monday. But he is certainly having that experience, isn't he? About feeling uncertain, anxious. Because the now is providing him, as all nows have, a reality to behold. Wherever you put your focus is your certain now of experience. Yes. No matter how hard you try to not be now, if you are sharp, honest, intimate with your experience of the now, then you will know whatever you are dreaming, thinking, dashing, hoping, destroying in time, anything about that relationship, and take time away, anything about the now, you know you are having an I am moment. And I bet your ass, no matter what from now on, you're going to know you are. The mind wants you are this, you are that, you are certain, you are uncertain, you are afraid, you are brave, you are tranquil, you are disrespectful. The mind is the you are's an image, because that's how it gains its certainty, isn't it? You get really riled up and fucking frustrated and just hating things when those certainties seem to go away. But if you look sharp, you are certainly having that exquisite reality of pain, of uncertainty, of atrocious, of orgasmic. Do you see how the now is all that is? As Khadijah represented, everything is here and now. Oh, yes. Most certainly. Your focus is not just your eyesight, where you're pointing your directional attention, because that's intention when you are paying attention. Don't be tense. Be divine. Because what you're going to notice as you've now are seeing the certainties of time that you are uncertain about, the certainties of the past that you are regretting, then you're going to notice something about the divinity of you, about the now. So let's swim there a while, shall we? Okay. Let's look at this now as a relaxation for a moment. Are we still certain that we're having an experience by just resting a little bit, letting your thoughts wander? Where does your attention need to take things? Let's notice how your attention is wandering if you relax. and be divine, to be natural, to be no thing. Aren't you still certain of an experience? But maybe your mind says your attention is not productive. Did you realize every time you pay attention, you're paying into a belief? You made a lot of payments, haven't you? Because that attention is a value system that has experienced itself only one way, through measurement. Attention, like everything else, is natural. But when you take the natural and confine it to a container and put a filter on it that must be this way, then you get the limits of the past experientially with attention. When you're paying attention, you're validating what you were, you're validating a need, you're validating a measurement, you're validating a particular focus. You've got my attention. Really? I didn't have it before. You did. But you just were not focusing on it. See, I know you're afraid of being lazy and being worthless, non-productive. I know that. I know you're afraid to not get off your ass and do something. But who is to judge your journey except you? If you sit on your ass for 6 months and be divine, then so be it. Do you think that the time that you're validating are going to be true? Or are you certain that you're having an experience about the future time because you're sitting on your ass to a filter? And I bet your sweet ass every now that you're still now having your certainties. It's all going to lead back. All the vibration leads back to you in the now and how you interpret. You're shedding all the dismals of time. Your futures are shallow, hollow. You can feel them as yucky because you don't want to mess with that quality of time. You can feel the emptiness of time now because you are certain you're experiencing that uncertainty through a certainty that allows you to know you are now. And then your natural is felt. The unnatural is, I need to focus on this. I need to focus on that. I have to be there. I have to make sure now to do these things so that now feels like this now. But it does. But it doesn't in the convincing mind of facts and provens and certainties of predictables that you find acceptable. So Guriza is released if someone says Saturday, I got you on Monday. Whatever that is, then his certainty extends through time. But you want to not know that time certainty, Guriza and everybody else. You want to know the certainty of experience, and that lies now. Because every now you're having an experience. It's been a long time since you met Rebecca, that you flew over on the plane, came down to San Antonio, and found your love. It's been a couple of years. And you've been certain the whole time you're having an experience. And you've been certain the whole time you're having an experience with her, without her in your reality. See, that's what the now is. It's so simple. It's meaningless. Oh, it's got no purpose. It's just what you are. Always experiential. And these beautiful minds that are lost in this garden get to judge its own experience, that give you an experience that is certain, good, bad, or indifferent, shitty or exciting. You got to measure your godship of certainty. So Grisa knows somewhere inside of him that his experience has always been there. His memory can give him only a few things, as Roxy said yesterday, only a few things about the last couple of years. Plane flights, introductions. But there's so many moments, hours and hours and weeks, that he doesn't remember any of those nows. Why? Because they were not important. They weren't needed. The moment might have been beautiful, but in time can't represent the quality of beautiful. It can draw up a memory equated to beauty, but the quality of time and the quality of now are experientially different. But your experience about time in the now is exceptionally the same as all nows, isn't it? Yes. So let's gaze upon ourselves as an investigator, an observer. Sonia has taken behold of that word to observe her reactions, herself, her truths. The observer is not here to judge you. I am an observer of you, which is me, of course. You are observing yourself as well as others. The observer is not a judge. The observer is a revelation. It reveals. So when you can approach your observation as a neutral party in the world of separation, you and you battling against you to get the things right, the observer awareness, the standpoint, your approach as an observer changes the frequency of relationship. I bet your sweet ass it does. You start to see holes, things. The mind is covering it up and yelling and arguing about you to get back over here and be my side. No, be on my side. But the observer is you as well, isn't it? You are multidimensional. I'm sure you've heard that before. But see, none of these really matter in definitions or containers. What I want you to focus on is how you feel about the quality of the now with each one of those experiences. You have the ability to feel shitty in one next moment. You can absolutely be on top of the world because information has been given to you. You change your mood because this filter wants this, and if that's met, everything is good now. But if it doesn't come, then time, things, and relationships. But then maybe, like time vibration, quality, you grow sick of it. And you stop focusing on your pain and you shift your focus into new hopes and new happinesses. But see, the observer sees all this movement, and the observer feels different than the quality of emotions, but it is having an experience that is immeasurable. It knows itself as an experience. Any of you role play Hmm? Take on a role, step into it and channel that. Hmm? Been on stage, role playing with your lovers, becoming a different image. The wife puts on slut red lipstick and a wig, short skirt and heels, with some yummy fishnets with the seam up the back, garter belts just showing right there with the schoolgirl skirt. You become a different relationship. I bet your ass you do. And then you go to work, and that vibration, you become a relationship with that truth. You are certainly being that truth. See, the observer is not those things in enactment. It is the relationship to you jumping into the role model of Superman to do a flying gamma hooch upon the wife. Or is it a certainty that you have to be a perfect little person at work to perform an image to keep your job so you can have that certainty of time? I bet the observer starts to connect you with the vibrational reality of a different way to relate to those selves. I bet you it does. So you are here to shed, to destroy, to deconstruct image. And you do it from within. Because light is not shown upon someone. It is not purposely shown out. You're just going to blind people. You are releasing your light, right? The lighthouse just is light. It's not worried. If it's bright enough, it's not worried. If it's helping, it's just there. Back to the divinity. Back to the divinity. You're just there, aren't you? Without attention, without purpose, without need, without want, but you're dying to have an image, aren't you? Your mind is just seething to have an experience of time, a relationship with emotion, pride, oh yeah, hope, secrets, things of these natures. You gotta have some kind of thing to hold on to. God, it feels so good holding on to things of vibration. But why don't you keep holding on to them if they work so well? Why would you ever grow sick of me coming to class to tell you new things or old things? Because maybe you're not truth of equal vibration that some things represent. And it's not their job to change for you. It's not your job to change for them. Oh no. It's your observer that realizes and releases your light. And then there is no contorted light into a certainty of time. In other words, you don't feel it as something. You just feel because you are something. You are existence. The now provides this field always. Certain about tomorrow, certain about yesterday, but not details that the mind hunts down in lack to fulfill and cover up the emptiness with something that feels good. The observer doesn't feel good, nor does it feel bad. The observer understands its relationship with those emotions, those filters, those truths that grow tiresome. Do it enough times, you're going to want to change. But see, what you're doing cannot be labeled. Here, Roxy's a channel. Coming up on 5 years, right? Five years, November, right? Is that a career? Sons could say that. She could say it. But see, she finds passion in channeling. And if it needs to be labeled, so be it. But see, the quality of the relationship between her and channeling is not bound by time. It's now. Because she can be considered an eater because she eats, right? Her career is eating is over as soon as she stops. Some of you, like Roxy, used to smoke. At the time, you were a smoker, but only when you smoked. Maybe you liked to drink. But see, you would be known as a drinker when you're drinking. What about when you're not drinking? What are you being? When you're not smoking, when you're not eating, when you're not sleeping. See how the emptiness is always hold for you? Do you see? Going back to Roxy, if she's bored, grab a cigarette. Phone call, cigarette. Coffee, cigarette. To fill the emptiness. Different relationships with things. Because when there is no action, whatever it is, don't you grow tired of you? Uneasy? Especially when you're sitting around doing nothing? You're not being productive and the humanity is just kicking your ass going, what the hell are you doing? Jennifer's father would be relieved if Jennifer had a job. See, a job means Jennifer's okay. No job, Jennifer's not okay. He can't die, sleep, be his natural self until that relationship of time is soothed. He won't do anything in easement when it comes to a relationship with Jennifer because she doesn't have a job. Because that's a product. If Jennifer married into monster money, billions of dollars, if she finally took the plunge after leaving a couple at the altar. You are classic. See, the father wouldn't still be unsatisfied. See, that wouldn't soothe his pain. Now, why is that? Because the father doesn't seek her being okay. The only way this father can see that she's okay is like he was. Self-sufficient, relying on nobody. Doesn't matter what he has. Is she working to provide herself safety, security, money? No matter what Jennifer does, whenever he relates to Jennifer, that vibration is going to be intertwined with that reality. That's why it blurts out every now and again. He gets tired of it, doesn't say anything, and then all of a sudden when he's feeling empty, he's got a hole. When are you going to get a job? And everything is fine. Oh yeah. See, it's not for Jennifer to fix or console him, to satisfy him and continue his own pain. See, Jennifer is releasing her light. She has no cares or concerns for humanity's well-being in her reflection, because that's not her job. That's the puppets that walk around on the street validating boundaries and fears due to the idea of morals and the right things to do to keep themselves imprisoned. So when the Father understands this within himself, that he cannot dictate a life, be a tyrant, a slave driver, to engulf through guilt his daughter's hope that he needs to satisfy him. He hopes for her. It won't go away until he sees that it's himself. He sees that Jennifer is a choice. He doesn't give this much payment to his daughters, the other ones. Why? Because they're set. In his mind, they're secure. They have that image. They have fit into the box of his. It's not wrong to the daughters. They're doing their thing. Everyone is perfect. The other daughters doesn't matter. But with his relationship, that's what he feels. And he sees himself as a failure needing to fix this black sheep wandering about. Let's shepherd them back in. They need to be sheared. This is truth for each and every one of you to understand. The observer gets you there. I can observe this in the Father. I can observe this in Jen. I can observe this in Roxy. I can observe everything because I am a God. And I create my truth. And my truth gives me an experience that is uniquely mine. And I don't care if you agree. Because your agreement would be equal as your disagreement. It is unconditional.
So it's just getting to that place of existing and not caring. Like it just gets old after a while.
You're going to notice it's going to get old. That's the thing to be keyed about. Because when you stop caring, you are light. You'll notice, okay, let's put it in time. You notice you're lighter. How about that? When you release something that's bugging you, let's say you have a grudge, you put them in your mind. They live there rent-free for, let's say, 10 years. And then finally it just comes up one too many times and you're like, fuck it, forget it. And you release it. You don't care. I know all of you feel good about that. When you release that renter in your mind of space. So yes, you literally stop caring. But everyone wants you to care because it's the right thing to do, because everyone's feeling like shit. And care is how people stop feeling like shit. So they need it themselves and they need to give it because that's their obligation.
Yeah.
That's their duty as a human, to protect and serve.
It almost feels like the very thing that's been constructed, you know, the whole black sheep idea is kept alive. It's the pain. I see it now. It's kept alive. And it becomes a dependency. But when it's released, it's almost shocking.
Well, it's very shocking. Because then all of a sudden you can't feel this fucking good. You actually don't know how to feel. You're uncertain about how you feel. That's why we draw your idea of focus with just an observation nugget for you to say, wow, Although I'm uncertain, I am certain I am uncertain. That's leading you back to the now. So you can have that relationship with the things that are observed and noticing that they are nothing except time-based values that no longer need to be truthed. Yes?
Yeah, it's the now. I just wrote it in the chat. It's the now is literally existence without any image. And it's not that it's bad, it's just we're not used to that. We're used to the polarized
Yes.
plastic image that gives us a reason to be, which is,
Gives us a hang on, not only a reason to be, but it gives us a good way to be. You feel good, that's what you value. You feel bad, I need to do something about my feeling bad to feel good. Those are emotions based on a human. The observer does not feel the emotions. The observer observes the self feeling the emotion, doesn't it?
oh. Yeah, Rose and I were talking about this last night about the feeling behind the emotion, but the emotion that brings you there. You need the emotions to get yourself there. Just we get
Yeah.
wrapped up in the emotions to make it mean something and think that feeling will just
It,
emerge when feeling is
and
always
think
there.
it does mean something. The
Right.
quality of this means truth. And you are vigorous about that. You need that because it got rid of the emptiness, right? The
Yeah.
uncertainty. That's why it's a very strong habit, because it is your way to exist. No one wants to go into non-existence, no matter how much they bullshit themselves. But you feel like if you let go of your truths, you will be that. That's why it's uncertain, scary, afraid. Yes?
Yeah. I'm also saying with what you just said, how much, for example, with my dad, I'm making him my responsibility by caring about why he's paying attention to me. So any of us that have
Yeah.
an issue with someone, instead of looking at it as they have the issue, it's our responsibility of focusing on it that's keeping it in place.
Yes. See, society says you should be this, and your father's not wrong. In his world, he's right. You should be this image to him. But without someone offering change, when does humanity evolve? Never. You
Right.
guys just happen to start shining your light for others to understand within themselves their image that they hold vastly against the self of whole. True that.
And it's nothing that you can explain because you explain it and it's polarized. So you observe
Anything
it
you, yes,
and you shed it and you shed it
yes.
just naturally.
Because it's the moment of observation and filtering it through the idea of filters into the whole, which is unfiltered, and then it comes back out as not your truth anymore. Because you can
So really,
feel.
yeah, so really vibration speaks volumes when you're
Yes,
observing and shedding, and you really need no words to explain to anyone, which we go to all the time.
exactly. See, vibration always speaks volumes, but your filters only let so much stuff in. But now the observer can see how much it's not and is letting in. And when you consciously are the observer choosing to accept this and change it by not validating it, then you left vibration in and change ensues. You feel different, right?
Yeah,
But
yeah,
vibration is never diminished. Vibration is always. It is. That's what gives you this experience, right?
yeah. Existence, I guess, is boring to the human, and it's
Yes, because
vital
you
to
need the
everything.
things. Because you need the things that are good, entertaining. See, it's like you guys get so excited if you win something, because it's an experience that is beyond what you naturally are as a human. Lost, fighting, trying to be this image. When you get something, oh my God, I won the lottery. Wow, everything. But guess what happens? 5 years later, everyone is still the same because the thrill is gone. Because the relationship is the paradigm. That's why nothing can make you happy. You shed everything that makes you happy, that makes you sad, by being the observer and understanding it intimately, then happy is natural. Make sense?
Yeah, that whole idea of the image being plastic, and I love, again, going back to what Osifia said, play something out, and you realize we're no longer in that place of saying, see, the fears don't play out, but see how plastic your images are, because you can't take them further than your limited mind. You can't, like, take Grisha. Grisha has in his mind that next time he sees Rebecca, he can't go past that moment. But why would he? It's the idea of being right now and letting it play out, and all this unknown comes in without it making him happy, him just exuding happiness instead.
Yes.
I think.
Yes, he's happy now.
Right.
This is a better time than it was when he's not having an experience. Maybe he's sitting around, he's all of a sudden his loneliness comes back and he feels about missing Rebecca and how's he going to be on Monday? When's he going to get back to her? So he's certainly having an experience about all these things that are giving him a vibration of uncertainty and missing and lack and hope and dreams. Because his idea, his worth, his truth is through those ideas. But the sharp mind observes the reaction of the fractal mind, how it feels, how it moves up and down through times and hopes and dreams. And then it seeks its happiness and gainfully employed about the next 3 months. Something to give him ease.
So
This is why you guys bullshit yourself.
worthiness isn't worthiness that we believe as humans polarized as happiness acquired, but worthiness
Yes.
is just happiness natural, something that we haven't really touched upon yet, or we're scratching it, but it scares us.
Well, yes, because you are existence. That's a powerful thing. When you know that you are not non-existence, and when you know you are existence, when you know you are, that scares the living shit out of you because there's nothing else to do.
Boy, we're really tough customers. All we have to do is look in the mirror to see that we exist, but all we do all day long is try to
But
prove that.
that's not enough. You have to prove it. You
Right.
have to get other people's acceptance. You got to have that reflection of admiration and envy. You got to have people get pissed off at you so you can feel good. You have to have people say yes to you so you feel good. You have to have controversy. You have to have happiness and hope. You have to have family meetings and or family holidays. You have to do these things to make yourself feel better in time, in the now. And as soon as the now is done, you're next. Next. Keep going. That's why so many people want a career, a job, stable, because it soothes the uncertainties of time. But the now is always experiential. And we're just drawing your attention, if you will, back to the now through the observer, that you will notice something. The observer and attention are natural, but no longer imaged. You just are. We're just going through the idea of the logical next step, as our brother Abraham has said.
So that very physicality that we see ourselves in the mirror, we almost attach to uphold. That observership is a very different vibration. It's an observership of pure existence, right?
Yes, you can say that. Sure, that works. When you look in the
Well,
mirror, let me ask you a question. When you look in the mirror, are you ugly?
sometimes it depends.
How? Measurement?
Because, yeah, measurement.
Okay, so are you looking in the mirror without measurement?
I don't know how to do that.
Yes, you do.
I do.
Of course you do. Because I said it. If I say it, you can be it. Everything has potential. So when you guys look at yourself in the mirror, you're going to see that you exist. Once you get past all the filters, you're going to feel your existence. That's a good thing. Beyond measurement, truly. Just a little side note since you took us there.
This just all feels backwards.
Hmm.
Okay, thanks.
You're welcome. I did see Rebecca. Yes. It's good stuff, guys. It's
Can I
hard to be.
ask something?
Yeah, hang on, Tempson, real quick.
Okay.
It's hard to be the observer because the natural draw to be an asshole or to be certain or to be respectful or to be obligated is so imaged. It's when you just scream, "Oh, this is it!" Because that's, you see, you're dying. You're literally dying by not being an image, and you just react sometime. Good. Because the observer will see that. You'll see yourself, feed yourself with image, because you're afraid to not be it. But each and every time it lessens, because you have become the moment. The observer is that in truth. Go ahead, Tamsin.
This is just a thought, if you could just elaborate on this thought. Obviously, humanity and mass consciousness has set up the world as it is now, like get a job, rah, rah, rah. And is that not, I mean, I know we can go against that and we are, shed all of that, but is it not harder because of the way the world is set up now?
Well, you can look at it as harder, but I guarantee if you're now, you're not going to be that harder. Only in time you're harder. See, that's the certainty of the now that I was relaying to Grisa. Now. For the last 2 years, Grisa has been now. Time kicked his ass. Everything kicked his ass, but now was fucking perfect.
Yeah.
So humanity wants you to do all these things, but now it doesn't call you to do those things.
Yeah.
Okay?
Mm.
But now let's look at passion, since you brought it up. The now is action of passion, and passion is not necessarily physical. In other words, since you don't have a job, you don't have to feel guilty because you're not producing physically. Make sense?
Yeah, I'm still struggling with it. I'm not going to
I
deny
know
it.
you are.
Yeah.
Well, of course, don't deny it, because why would you lie to yourself? You've done
No,
that
I'm
long
not.
enough, right? Very good.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's look at this. Let's understand this idea about worthiness. You're worthy of not having a job. You're fighting with it because you're having this idea about it. But you're still experiencing it every now, and nothing has happened, good nor bad. You've just been. Okay.
Mm.
So now, since you've understood that, observe that it's okay for you to not have a job, then now maybe you can see something about yourself. Maybe your passion is to be jobless. Is that a bad thing? To humanity, it might be, though, huh? Yeah, them sons of bitches, they want you to work. Why? Because they're working. And if you're rich and wealthy and retired, then you're lucky. Then maybe you get some envy. But if you're run of the mill, huh? Piece of meat on a conveyor belt going down to the grinder. If you're that, you better have a job, or you don't earn my respect. And you feel upset because you're connecting with this God. This God is connection, and you're like, I know, I feel something about you. Of course, there might be love and hate and all the human stuff, but internally, you have a certain connection with those eyes. And those eyes give you life, and they're not approving of you, and that hurts. Maybe a stranger doesn't hurt. Maybe you fart in their general direction. I don't know. But there's some people you have an accord with, and you just want them to love you because you're not sure how to love yourself, maybe. I don't know. See how you can go with this with me?
Mm.
So now let's look at not a lesson here. Let's look at this passion we're talking about. It's not a lesson, it's revealed right now. Your passion is you can be this moment. And this moment is unlabeled. And I want you to feel this moment, and I want you to observe how you feel the struggle with not having a job. Now see, isn't your passion investigate yourself? I think that's worthy. But what I think really doesn't matter. How you relate to you is your kingdom. Yes? So be okay with you and be your passion. You will get inspiration. Maybe your inspiration to write your passion. Maybe your inspiration to go and, I don't know, volunteer. Go put on a show for old people. Go change someone's diapers. Maybe offer a straw to a paraplegic and wipe off the dribble. Girl, I don't know what you want. What I do is show you what you are not. And the freedom that ensues upon that realization is daunting for you. I know it is. Because you can literally do anything that what you want now. And you're like, God damn it. I'm not sure any of this is going to be the right thing, the productive thing, the best thing, the measured thing to give me that certainty of accomplishment that I rely on as an image. But what you've done is shed the certainties of time, and you are certainly having an experience. And I believe that is priceless today for you. Okay. Well, you go rock on there, Tamsin. All right. Anyone else got anything before we split? Okay. Get that observer working. Swallow your pride. Don't be so goddamn smart and need people to know you're that, because you're enough without people. I swear you are. Connect to yourself, and then you'll realize that all those people are the same. They are you. We bid you a good day. Speakers, well, we're the intelligent clan. Speakers of reality may return again. We bid you.